Welcome, Reds. Thank you very much for tuning in for our instant post-match reaction podcast. It's just me and John discussing the game at Anfield today. Thank you very much, John, for coming on.
No problem. You're very welcome.
Yeah, absolutely legend. I'll leave his socials in the comment section below as well. And Reds, let me know your thoughts. Let me and John know and all the Reds around the world your thoughts on today's game. As I said in the title of the thumbnail as well, 2 points very much dropped from Liverpool. Were in such a commanding position in the first 45. Really, obviously, Mayupu, Enyok, obviously got the goal. Brighton's equaliser on the 41st minute anyway. But John, we'll discuss really just your general thoughts on the game, mate. It was, as I said, it was a great start. Great tempo was really very much up. The lads seemed up for it, but just your thoughts on the first half performance from the Reds, mate.
The first half performance for me was outstanding. Once we went 2-0 up, I thought we could have went a wee bit more defensive. Brighton were getting in easily at the back. I thought maybe just taking up a wee bit the back would have been all right. But the first half, I didn't have a problem with. The second half's a different story. But I very much enjoyed the first half.
Yeah, we seen Liverpool take the lead with a Jordan Henderson. Great goal, it wasn't it?
And Reds, what a goal! What a goal!
It was a ball laid off by Mohamed Salah, edged the box, and I think throughout the game, I think especially in that first half, Reds, we seen Brighton very much defend Salah quite too much, and I think that ball was very much on the edge of the box. The ball was always there in the first 20, 30, 45 minutes, really. I think Brighton were very much too preoccupied in relation to trying to stop Sadio Mane. I felt the midfield, not just Henderson, or I felt obviously Naby when he did go off, he played quite well in a little spell in which he did have, but the opportunities were there in and around the box. But for me, I felt we should have at least tried to shoot from outside the box a bit more, really, mate. And then we go into the second half, don't we, John and Reds? How you doing, Helen? Thank you very much for tuning in. Helen, let us know your thoughts on the game. Just post-match podcast anyway. But yeah, we go into the second half there, John, and really, obviously, we just conceded. Obviously, Sadio Mane did get his second goal on the 24th minute anyway, but your thoughts on how the game did unravel? We can talk about Mike Dean very much. For me, he's one of those referees that has such a big personality on the pitch, and I felt I was when I was at the ground, mate. But was it apparently a coming in from the game, mate? My dad said it was meant to be a Liverpool throw off Brighton's second goal. Was it?
It was Liverpool throwing. How they missed that, I don't know. That baffles me. Yeah, how they got that decision wrong is an absolute joke.
Yeah, even the ref, I think I'm pretty sure in the stadium when we were seeing it, everyone was looking at the lino, and the lino absolutely bottled it, really.
You see from Clapp's reaction, Clapp knew himself it was a Liverpool throw-in.
Yeah.
It's blatant. How can a professional referee, professional linesman miss that?
Yeah, no, it's the standard. You'd expect it. It's standard and parcel, really, mate. But obviously, we had enough opportunities in that first half to put the game to bed. But then it was like the tempo. For me personally, Reds, let us know your thoughts in the comment section below as well. From a defensive point of view, Liverpool's midfield were far too passive, really, in relation to Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain and Curtis Jones. And both of them, for me, I know Ox did get a great assist for Sadio Mane's goal. Fantastic delivery. But that was the only thing he did do well. I think Brighton very much identified Trent, not that Trent had a bad game. He just didn't really have enough cover. I know Jürgen and the technical staff very much did swap over Ox and Jones. They flipped them in the midfield, the back end of that game. And that kind of fixed it. But even still, Brighton, a lot of credit does have to go to John, Brighton. I was very impressed with them coming to Anfield. There was little moments in that second half, John. I was very concerned to see, obviously, the way Liverpool were playing. But on another day, Brighton very much do come away from Anfield with 3 points, don't they?
To be honest, Brighton, it hurts to say it, Brighton deserved to win that game. They should have won it. The performance they put in was unbelievable. And that shot from Bazuma.
Oh, yeah.
What a hit.
Was that the...
What a save Mali, but what a hit that was.
Yeah, they had a lot of opportunities, didn't they, mate? Obviously, when we look at the stats wise, Liverpool did dominate the game with 59% to Brighton's 41.
I think even Lallana was 1-on-1 and had a good shot at that.
Yeah, Adam. Yeah, he very much did have a good game. Adam Lallana, really good.
I was very, very, very impressed with him today.
Yeah, but we got, especially in periods in that second half, Reds, didn't we? We got absolutely dominated. I think Brighton, Graham Potter deserves a lot of credit, really, in relation to the substitutions in which he made. He very much stretched this Liverpool midfield. And yes, it was against Brighton. They've been playing very well this season. But when you play against the better teams, I think teams will analyse that. If as soon as Naby Keita come off the pitch from a defensive point of view, really, there was too much space in behind, especially in those wide areas. Cucurella, the Spanish player that they signed in the summer, he played very well, especially going down Trent's left-hand side. But if you're Trent, mate, and everyone, Reds, let us know your thoughts. If you're Trent, you're absolutely fuming. Obviously, Salah done his best, really, but at your midfield players, there was no protection at all, and he looked at the likes of the Basuma as well, Mudder and Solly March. He had a great opportunity in the first couple of minutes of the game. Obviously, Alisson denied him as well. But the number 12 for Brighton, Mwepu, apologies, I've absolutely butchered that, but I was really impressed with him. He's obviously Basuma, and just on the pitch, he's a very good footballer. Obviously, off the field this season, being he's got all the stuff has happened, really. But on the field, I think those two, number 8 and number 12 for Brighton this season, played, especially this game, mate. He very much impressed with me. Number 12, yeah. But Reds, let me know your thoughts. Tom has got his comments in. Get your comments in, Reds, as well. We'll be reading throughout every single one of them. Got any questions as well? No plan. Second half, as Thomas said here. Brighton outmanaged the game. Poor display of game management from us. Think we need to be worried about going forward. Robbo was poor. Jota ineffective as well. You're spot on there, Tom. I know it's very early on and we are top of the league, but obviously Chelsea are 4 points clear as well. 2 points very much dropped. In relation to, what are your thoughts on what Tom's had to say there, John?
He's spot on there. Everything he said is completely correct. I worry if Naby's out for a length period of time, which looks like he is, I worry us going forward. If we don't recruit in January and recruit big in January, I see us being anywhere near the tail.
Yeah, the midfield, mate. Today, Reds, let me know your thoughts. I come out of that ground and I was thinking to myself, that was a game where Gini Wijnaldum would have absolutely grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck. I know we can't think about him now, but the fact that we didn't replace his quality, these are the games that I know, obviously, outside of Anfield, Gini was very much disrespected, but this was a game that when the game is going the way it is, especially in that second half, you had a Gini Wijnaldum who would usually grab the game and control the game, soak up pressure, and offer that defensive reassurance for Liverpool, especially whether that be left or right-hand side. But for me, frankly, Ox didn't provide that. Naby did when he was on the pitch, but you're hard pressed to get in full 90 minutes out of Naby.
See, but I should have been bringing Ox on. Is it a bad shout to say you should have brought the young lad on? Morton, is it?
Yeah, Yeah, I think it was Morton, mate. For me, I think Henderson. I don't know what it was on telly as well, Reds, but from the ground, you could see even before Brighton did score their seconds, there was so much space. Ox, the game was passing them by far too much for my liking. For a player and the standard of being a Premier League midfielder, you can't stand there and let the game pass you by. It's not like Trent was giving him instructions. Henderson, even Klopp did pull him over on the halfway line as well when Liverpool did have a couple of set pieces. Jurgen Klopp countlessly today told him where to go positional wise. Frankly, for a midfielder, the standard that is expected of Liverpool Football Club, you should be doing that yourself, really, and have the confidence really to position yourself in the right areas. Really let me down today, Ox. And Curtis, he's young. When we're talking about Ox, he's one of the experienced lads in this squad now. He's got vast numbers of minutes in the Premier League for Arsenal and Liverpool. But Curtis Jones, not going to say anything because he's very young, mate, and he's very inexperienced in terms of relation.
He's
still a kid.
Learn his trade. He's still trying to learn how Liverpool play, in a way.
Yeah, very much so, mate. How are you doing, Doug? Hope you're having a good afternoon, mate. Don't even work, but hope you're having a lovely evening, mate. Thank you for tuning in. Eamon as well. Hello, fellow Reds. We didn't deserve to win that game. Fair result in the end. Eamon, as I was saying to John, top of the show there, mate. We were very unlucky to come away. We were very lucky to come away from with a point on another day. I tell you what, it was the first time I've actually properly watched Brighton this season, mate. But I think they will very much surprise a lot of teams this year, mate. If they can keep that squad fit, you can very much at least challenge for at least a top 8 finish. Do you reckon, mate?
Brighton stay fit. They're in Europe, I think. Keep this team fit, and they will be in Europe. Obviously, Europa League, not Champions League.
Yeah, you never know. Oh yeah, Doug's coming in as well.
I think they could make Europa League if they keep the fit.
Yeah, very much what as me and Doug were mentioning on his show yesterday. They are. Graham Potter is probably one of the most underrated managers in the Premier League.
I would go all out for Graham Potter right now.
What in the future?
I would sack Ollie now and go Graham Potter.
Oh, with your Manchester United manager? Oh yeah. He's a much better coach than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, isn't he, mate? But yeah, how you doing, Doug?
Oh, that was a pile of shite, wasn't it? Jesus.
Yeah, your thoughts on the game, mate? This is the Dugout Football channel as well. I'll leave his links in the description, so go and head over to me good mate Doug. But yeah, just your thoughts on the game, mate.
It was just terrible. I mean, first half we started really, really well. Obviously got the early goal through Henderson. I think Brighton played really well today. I don't think we can take away from the fact I thought Brighton played really, really well. The second goal is a very, very good goal as well. I think you have to say that Keita being out is a big, big concern now because we're having Fabinho there and not having Thiago there. Like that midfield just did not work for me today at all. But obviously, like I don't know about you, but I know Ox got an assist, but I thought Tyler Morton might have been the option. I know it's a it might have but for me, I think that Tyler Morton should have came on instead of Ox. But at least we didn't lose, but I thought Brighton probably were the better team, unfortunately.
Isn't that a bit concerning though, mate, when you're wanting personally, I think even me and John were mentioning as well, that you're wanting to pick a much younger, inexperienced midfielder over a veteran like Ox, even though he's like 25, 27, how old he is. For me, Ox, it's yet again, yes, he's not had the run of games, Ox, and I think even if he does in the next coming weeks, he really needs to get his stuff together, really, doesn't he?
Yeah, 100%. I think you can quite clearly see that he's playing for his future now. But hopefully Keita's not out for too much longer, because I think Keita has been very, very good. We obviously spoke about it last night, and he has been very, very good this season. That it does look like a hamstring, so I really, really hope it's not too serious. But you have to say a fair play to Brighton. I thought they played really well. I thought Milan in the midfield was very, very good for them today. Nice of him to get a good reception when he came off as well. Obviously with the assist for Trossard's goal. And yeah, we kind of ruled their luck a little bit, because they had a goal ruled out. Manny's unlucky with the one off his hand. I don't think he can really do anything about that. But obviously, accidental handball. Obviously, if it is let to him, then obviously the rules are rules, unfortunately. And Salah was very unfortunate as well, just offside as well. So on another day, we probably win that, 4-2 or 4-3, but not to be. But at least we're still unbeaten. And I think the big winners out of this game, I think, are Chelsea, because City lost as well, didn't they?
Yeah, it's that coming out of the ground, mate. It's especially when you do see City dropping points. You want to be getting 3 points. I know you can't always win a game of football, but what you don't want to see in next coming weeks and months really is Chelsea very much pull away. We're 4 points behind Chelsea now. Obviously, we drew against them early on in the season, mate. But yeah, let's get to everyone else's comments as well. 2 points dropped, unfortunately, but Brighton deserves something from the game. Scoreline doesn't lie. From that, from Chris. Mark said, not very good result today. Mitchell said, the midfield is so poo without Naby. Mitchell, you very much hit the nail on the head. Yeah, it's scary how the dynamic did change today, wasn't it, John and Reds? We've already mentioned the midfield dynamics, but as Doug's alluded to there, John, if you're coming up against an Atletico Madrid side, what do we do? I know we did beat them 3-2 a couple of weeks ago anyway, last week before, but is it an area for concern, especially if Fabinho isn't fully fit?
It is. If Fabinho isn't fully fit, then I fear for Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid, if we play like that today, I think they'll rip us apart. Especially,
yeah.
What we need is a tight midfield. Our players are too open, I think. They're not compact enough.
Yeah.
We need Fabinho in there to run. He runs at midfield. No one runs midfield like Fabinho.
Yeah.
No, we don't have him. I fear for us against Atletico Madrid. I do.
Yeah. No, it's a very good point you picked up on there, mate. Obviously, tightness, Reds, as well, in it. Like great midfields, you can't be allowing so much space, and like we've seen from today, but in the coming weeks, especially teams like they have done in recent months anyway, very much identifying Liverpool's right-hand side as our weakness, not due to Trent's inability to defend. It's more a case of obviously how well we do go down that right-hand side going forward.
The that are tucked in. If Trent is getting picked on the right, that's Hendo's job to back him up, isn't it?
Yeah, but that goes with what you've just alluded to there, John, as well. And in the tightness, if Hendo does shuffle over to that right-hand side, Ox or Naby or obviously mainly Curtis or Jones today, they need to have the intelligence to really, obviously Jones, he's 20 years old. He's got a lot of development to do, but in terms of Ox's spatial awareness and of other players in and around him, you've got to drop in here and there. But I think a lot of stuff will be getting talked about today in the lead up to obviously Atletico this week on Wednesday will be that, as you've already alluded to there, mate. John, this is a point that you wanted to spot on. Spectre's obviously it cued us up perfectly. Klopp or the coaching staff decisions making with the subs late on cost us the game, John. you wanted to talk about this, and even in the ground, mate, I was thinking to myself, I was like, obviously the game was passing us by, really. Something it wasn't working. Obviously the game very much was in the balance because it was very much back and forth, really. But would you agree with what Spectres had to say there?
It did. We seen. I don't know from obviously you were at the game, but I watching it myself. I seen for 60 minutes something needed changing. He needed to make some luring in 60, and he waited 82 minutes to make a change. That's way too late. He should have brought on Jada at 60, and then maybe if we're still weren't doing it, bring on Origi.
Yeah.
At 80 minutes. Why not bring on Origi? We're fling crossing in the right centre. Their defenders are 6'5".
Yeah, all right, absolutely spot on there. Doug, would you compare what John's had to say and obviously Spectre's comments? Would you have liked to see Jurgen Klopp make a bit more pragmatic in terms of his substitutions?
Yeah, 100%. I think John's hit the nail on the head. I think you should have had probably Jota come on before he obviously did. It was the 79th minute as well, and then obviously Mino came on it. Yeah, I know we're forced into the early change, obviously. Of obviously Ox, but yeah, like how many times did we actually cross the ball and it was getting headed on by like a Lewis Dunk or a Shane Duffy. It was just constant, unfortunately. But you have to say, I think Brighton have actually improved a lot this season, and you can actually see what Graham Potter's actually doing. I've been very impressed with Graham Potter. I think we've all said last night how good a manager he is. So it's just one of those where you take on the chin. But I bet you now, I wish we had someone like a Gini Van Aldum today, because I actually reckon he would have probably took a game by storm. We probably would have won that game. However, you just have to say that the subs are way too late. If nothing's going right in the 60th minute, then bring something on, because they kept opening us up with a lot of space as well. Hendo, despite his goal, didn't think he had a particularly good game either. I don't think Jones had a good game either. So you have one bad game, you focus on the next, and it's all about focusing on the next game.
Yeah, it's it, Reds, innit? It's because we're all greedy. We want to win every 3 points, but it's the mentality us fans have got, and obviously the players as well. They'll be deeply disappointed. But you're absolutely spot on there, lads. Keep on getting your comments in as well, Reds. But we'll go to Eamon's comment now as well. We should be beating the likes of Brighton at home if we have any ambition of the league title. Palace did us a favour today, really. Eamon's, we all know titles are very much won by 1 or 3 points in recent years, and every point matters. But the positive, as Doug's already alluded to there, we're still unbeaten in the league. Salah getting an assist today, so he's still contributed in terms of that, in terms of Liverpool's output. But you're absolutely spot on there, Eamon. That's me from coming out of the game, speaking to my dad in the car. I was greedy. I wanted us to win 3 points, and it was really lackadaisical, really, from Liverpool from a defensive point of view, that we very much let 2 points slip. But as everyone said tonight, and everyone in the comment section below, Palace didn't make it easy for Liverpool. Obviously, come to Anfield, beat us, and obviously we got that draw. So we got a point out of 6 last season, and we've got a point already this season from possible 3. So it'll be interesting to see how we do fare going away at the Brighton Stadium in the reverse fixture. Ox is not good enough for our midfield. He struggles to get into Brighton's. Mitchell, rewind what I said before, mate, and I'd 110% agree with you, mate. I was one of Ox's biggest fans, really. I love the player. I know he's had his injuries, but it's about time. He really needs to get his act together. I don't know. Yeah. Go ahead, Doug.
Oh.
Yeah, he just needs to stop doing TikTok videos, doesn't he?
Yes.
Have Tottenham scored?
No, Ronaldo goal ruled offside.
Oh, is he? Oh, sounds. I just seen John in the background there. But yeah, Doug, did you want to say something about Ox there? Or
Yeah, it's the beginning of the end, I'm afraid, for Ox. Like we all loved when we signed him. He's done very very well. That game, had he not got injured, maybe we would have probably seen a different Ox, unfortunately. But it does feel like it's the beginning of the end for Oxlade-Chamberlain, and I have to say he isn't good enough for our midfield. I'm sorry, he's just not. Maybe I don't think he's even. I don't think he's even good for the attack either. So yeah, I think a decision might have to be made in January for
yeah,
Oxlade-Chamberlain's career. But yeah, for me, I just don't think he's quite the player that we bought from Arsenal. Unfortunately.
it comes. I watched, obviously, everyone watch around the world and even in the ground. Just when you're watching a player, you're like, come on, lads, come on, just do a bit more. Like you've got a great opportunity now. Naby has been injured here and there. I don't know what it frustrates me so much. You're playing for Liverpool Football Club, but put a bit more effort in, will you? Those standards might be allowed when you're playing for Arsenal or at Tottenham. But when you're a midfield in Liverpool's midfield, you're expected to do not just your attacking work well, but you're expected to do your defensive work well. And especially the Premier League, you can't be allowing players to pass you with ease. And it was even that frustrated me today was the second balls and the third balls. You're looking at the midfield, you're like, come on, boys, one of yous, at least get that. But we go on. It's I can be here all night and fuming. But Bobby Firmino missing that chance in the first half. Shocking. Need a goal scorer sent forward like Haaland. Spectre, we're not playing FIFA, are we, mate? We'd all love Haaland. But Bobby did get a hat-trick a couple of weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. For me, Bobby's been absolutely exceptional. Our forwards this season have been exceptional, mate. And if it were... It's just, I can't say anything bad about our lads because they've been phenomenal. What we've scored now, lads, and everyone at home, we've scored stupid amount of goals in like the last couple of games. It's the first time we haven't scored 3 goals in a very long time. We seem to be scoring 3 goals every game. But yeah, guys, we were 2-0 up. We only have ourselves to blame, just not good enough. Yeah, game management's in it, Eamons and Reds. Game management. And I'm pretty sure Jurgen Klopp will be drilling that into his Liverpool players tonight. Fair play to Brighton from Spectre, but I wonder if Klopp really trusts his bench whilst making subs late, doing games like this for the past year and a half now, in my opinion. Klopp should, one sec, John, sorry about that, lad. Klopp should have made subs. Jota should have come on. Yeah, go ahead, John.
With Klopp making so late changes, is he maybe sending a message to FSG saying, I don't trust my bench?
Help me. He has to be doing something, doesn't he, mate? And for me, me, Doug, you, and every red round the world, over the last 12 months, we had the defensive crisis in which we did have at the back last year. And the fact that we allowed Ginny, obviously everyone within Liverpool knew Gini was going to PSG or he was leaving anyway. But have we missed an opportunity, really? And we need to do something in midfield. We need to do something in January, don't we? It's all right, everyone talk about centre forwards and that. But for me today, and as you've already alluded to, John and Doug and everyone in the comment section below here tonight, Liverpool's midfield quality from a defensive point of view and going forward, it's all right when we have a fit Naby, a fit Henderson, and a fit Fabinho. But over 38 calendar game season, they're not all going to be fully fit.
This is the problem. We'll let Gini go on a free. Right now, we need to buy another Gini. It couldn't cost us 70, 80 million quid. Why not just re-sign him for an extra 40 grand a week?
Yeah, no, it's frustrating, mate. It's crazy. And especially James Milner has been injured as well. Tom, what was the home supporters like today? Sounds quiet on the TV. Agree with Spectre. Big Norbert was very slow to react to the substitution second half. Potter, Defo set them up better second half. Tom, it was frankly scary, but a lot of credit does have to go to Brighton because they absolutely, especially in periods in that second half, mate, very much dominated. It's been a while since I've seen a team come to Anfield in little moments within that second half do what they done. But if there is an end of, if this is the end of Ox and Millie contract ending this season, could Liverpool be looking at 2 midfielders? And if so, who? Well, international breaks coming up, so we'll definitely be getting John, Doug, and hopefully a couple of yous on as well. It's a big talking point in the coming weeks and times. Barbara, thank you very much for your comments, and everyone for getting your comments in. Mike Dean is always a disgrace. At least it ended 2-2 and not 3-2 to Brighton. Chin up to the next game match. Liverpool will always be the best team ever. Barbara, absolutely spot on there. And what a great way to end the show. It's been an absolute pleasure. John, thank you very much for coming on, mate.
Nice one, mate. Appreciate it.
Absolute legends. And Doug, thank you very much for popping in as well, mate.
No problem. I'd literally just got your message as I was making main Rebecca's tea. So yeah, glad to finish my tea and managed to get on. And yeah, we go again on Wednesday.
Yeah, absolute legend, mate. Thank you very much for coming on. I'll leave John and Doug's socials in the comment section. Well, not in the comment section, in the description down below. But we go marching on. Still unbeaten. You got to be as. I know. Sorry, I haven't been as positive today, but sometimes it is when you, especially for me, I just get frustrated. It's frustrating watching them. But FSG really have to invest in the squad this January, some Spectre, or next summer with new faces and new ideas with a playing style, since teams mostly know our game plan. Spot on there, Spectre. We'll have a lot of shows coming up in the coming weeks, especially with the international break, mate. We'll have quite a lot of talking points and debates about transfers and everything, mate. Thanks, Jack, John, Doug. I know you LFC legends, Tom, absolute legend. Spectre, nice one, lads. No, thank you to every single one of you. Thank you to John, Doug, and every single one of you watching. Or if you're watching this on repeat, absolute legends. All the support does really mean the world. But Reds, we go marching on to Atletico Madrid now. We will, and hopefully do get all 3 points against Diego Simeone's. Against Diego Simeone's Burnley, the Spanish Burnley. Come on, boys. See you later, Reds. Have a lovely weekend. You never walk alone. Chill out.